Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Headteacher Bulletin for this week, for the week commencing 23rd of January. Let's get going. So this week in the Gospel, Matthew tells us about two different aspects of Jesus' ministry. Firstly, he preached the good news about the kingdom and healed people of all kinds of illness. And secondly, he called the first four of his disciples in order to teach them how to catch people rather than fish. So when Jesus called his first disciples, the Gospel tells us that the fishermen, Peter, Andrew, James and John, dropped everything to follow Jesus immediately. They clearly saw something that was very special in this man called Jesus. And it's not always easy to walk away from things we want to do in order to do what Jesus wants us to do. So we often feel that we're being pulled in different directions, and that's been a message, that as part of our new year and coming back to school, that, students and staff and all of us really are balancing friends, families, studies, and that's often difficult to find the headspace and time to reflect. So we can find it hard to prioritise, and in the Sunday's Gospel, Jesus calls us to repent and follow him, making him our life's priority. And that's something that at school we very much embody in our core values, and we continue to preach that as we progress through the year. So uniform continues to play a big part. Unfortunately, we're seeing some students come into school with the incorrect uniform. So that may be trainers, or they haven't got their tie, or their blazer doesn't have their badge on the pocket. So it's just to ask your continued support, really. As said, the smart appearance of pupils is always commented on, and we don't want these standards to drop. We believe that good uniform gives a sense of belonging and pride, and that's very much, the resemblance of us as a school and equality amongst all of our students. So if your uniform's not correct, we've said it before, the pupils will be challenged, they'll be asked to rectify this, and if they refuse, they'll be picked up as part of our sanctions. So just please support us in either writing a note in the pupils' journals if uniform is incorrect, and obviously give us a timescale of when uniform will be rectified. We have got spare stock, we've got blazers, we've got ties, but if pupils have lost their uniform, they will have to purchase new ones. So the ties and blazers can be purchased from reception, and that can be paid either in cash or parent pay. So it's really clear. Our uniform policy is clear. It's on our website. It's been shared with parents as part of the homeschool agreement. We need your support to make sure that that's correct, please. So exam information for next week. Obviously, we've got a busy week with year 11 and 13 mocks continuing. So again, this has already been shared, but it's just been reshared again to remind you of supporting your sons and daughters in revising for their exams and just making sure that they're in school on time for those exams to start, particularly in the morning. So they can come in early, they can get some breakfast with some free bagels in the canteen to get them fueled up for the day ahead. So we've got some sports fixtures this week, a bit of a reduction in the amount that's happening, but you can see there Tuesday and Thursday we've got sports festival for Send happening, and also some dodgeball happening on Thursday. Lots of good news over the past week, in particular with our electives. You can see there, if you're not following our social media on Twitter or Facebook, keep up to date with all activities that are happening in and around school with learning. But yeah, great afternoon out for rock climbing, and our sports leaders there leading Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2 as part of the curling competition at Benham. So fantastic support there within the PE department, and well done to all those students involved. So thank you for supporting us with our parental meetings. I've said communication is always paramount, and we've asked for your support in arranging a time for a meeting rather than just turning up to the school, because as I said, we're a busy school, we're a functioning school, staff have timetables and they can't just meet unplanned. So thank you for supporting us. We'll continue to follow that protocol. So if you need an appointment and need to speak to a member of staff, it needs to be booked, please, in the first instance. And lastly, just a reminder about some key dates. So obviously Tuesday we've got our flu vaccinations for years 7, 8 and 9. So this is led from the NHS. We're just facilitating it in school. Wednesday the 1st of February is National Teacher Strike Day. I'll be sending out a letter today or Monday. So we're just being mindful of the implications of that day, but all details will be clear in the letter in relation to sort of what the plans will be for that day next week on Wednesday. So you've got Thursday the 23rd of February after half term, our curriculum choices evening, as well as our sixth form open evening, particularly for external students. And then later on in March we've got our year 7 parents evening coming up. So thank you again. We'll catch up next week, and please look out for my letter regarding the Wednesday National Teacher Strike next week.